So welcome to the Agnihotra Ladies, the Cosmic Clinic. We're broadcasting live here in Shanti, Atlanta, located in Conyers, Georgia. Shanti, Atlanta is the Atlanta campus of the main school, which is Shantivilla Institute, located in Tuskegee, Alabama, up the street from historic Tuskegee University. And so there we have a 13-acre farm, school, an eco center. And here is just a little bit less than an acre, and whatever we teach up there, also teach down here. And I'm so happy that you joined me this evening. I am the Agnihotra lady. So before we get started with tonight's topic, I'm going to go ahead and start with our Varuti mantra, which is how I normally start off the show. We normally do the Varuti mantra before we start doing the full moon. I've been burning fire throughout the day for full moon because tonight is also full moon. So before the full moon mantra, we do Varuti mantra, but you can do the Varuti mantra by itself before a meeting or doing something important, and it sets up with the intention for whatever you're doing. So we go ahead and get started with that. Actually, should I move this closer? No, I'm gonna leave it be. Swaha, Agniye, Idamama Swaha, Wayave, Idamama Swaha, Surya, Idamama Burba Swaha, Prajapatiye, Idamama. Okay, got the fire going over here. So, tonight's topic, I'm just so happy to be able to speak with you all this evening, wherever you are from in the United States or any part of the world that you are. Just welcome and thank you for joining. So there's a lot that's been going on the last couple of weeks, and what I really want to talk about was a conversation that Sri Charles and I had about, and I've been talking about this the last 2 or 3 videos, talking about all of us are made in the image of the Creator, the Mother, Father, God. We all are made in the image of the Creator. And so I think some of us have grown up hearing that in certain scriptures. And what does that really mean? Is it something that is abstract for people and they're just used to hearing that, but they don't really know what that is? But I've said in previous videos that if you're made in the image of the Creator, what does that mean about you? That means you are given the same attributes as the Creator. And as such, there's certain things that you have that you can do that are powerful and that are meaningful because you come from the Creator. So you have those same powers of the Creators. But what does it mean when you are made in the image of the Creator? And so I don't know what you've been told when you've been reading this or hearing this, but when that statement means not in the physical sense. And I think some people may think if you're made in the Creator and we're just like your Creator, they're talking about in the physical sense, but we are talking about in the energetic sense, because we are energy beings and we're housed in these bodies, these organic bodies, life units, whatever you want to call it. And so, but there's a higher consciousness of energy that really is what you would say is yourself. And so you actually can access directly what that means, being made in the image of the Creator, the Mother, Father, God, when you are sitting still through meditation or prayer, through deep breathing. And we've talked about deep breathing exercises before, how deep breathing, not only is it good for toning your organs and helping with stress and keeping you calm, But you know, when you do deep breathing long enough and often enough, there is a trance-like state that happens to you. And this is when a lot of communications and that connection with the creator happens. And you're able to access that high level of energy that I was talking about, because we are energy beings. And so also with Agnihotra, which is what I teach here at Shanti Atlanta, you're able to access too what it really means to be made in the image of the creator. And so for those of you all not familiar with Agnihotra, Agnihotra is something that you can do every day. It's at sunrise and sunset, and it's done in a proper pyramid, and it's done to purify the planet and purify yourself. And so at sunrise, we put cow dung, dried cow dung. We put brown rice, and then we use ghee, which is unsalted butter that's been boiled. Those are the ingredients that we put in the pyramid. So at sunrise, we say a beautiful Sanskrit mantra, and there's an interaction between the sun and the copper pyramid. And this is when nutrients are put back into the atmosphere. And it's been scientifically proven that Agnihotra, it cleanses the air, it cleanses the water, it brings about a joy to all that lives on the planet, all the plants, all the animals. Everything becomes nourished and revitalized at this time at sunrise. And so we choose sunrise, or we do this at sunrise because there's a flood of ethers, electricities, and energies that happen at sunrise. And then all of those energies are receding at sunset, and then we repeat this the same process. And we have another mantra that we say for sunset Agnihotra. And this is a very beautiful and powerful practice. So when you do Agnihotra on a regular basis, you too are able to assess this energy, this high level energy portion of you that's outside of your physical being. And so when we say that you're made in the image of the creator, Mother, Father, God, if you do these things that I mentioned, deep breathing, if you sit at the cosmic clinic times and just still, or you can light a fire. We have other fires we do, you know, the cosmic clinic hours are 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., sunrise, 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., and then sunset. And then, of course, if you do Agnihotra, there's something that happens within you energetically, and you're able to access all that you are, that who you really are, that's outside of the physical plane. And that's when you get all these messages from the creator. And so we suggest that when you're going through this, because you will be transformed, that you get a pen and paper and you write down all these things, because a lot of things are communicated to you in the silence, in the time that you're meditating, in the time that you're lighting your fire. There's something miraculous that happens, something powerful, something profound that happens. And so Agnihotra is one of the most powerful tools in which you can access who you are, being made in the image of the creator, Mother, Father, God. And remember, if you come from the creator, that means that you have all of the attributes of the creator. You cannot come from something and then be something else. You have those attributes. And so a lot of times when we're talking about these things, people forget that these things that you can build, that they can flourish within your life, that you have to have the discipline to sit still, to meditate, to do deep breathing, to do Agnihotra, so that these things can happen to you. So you understand who you really are, and you'll be able to manifest many wonderful things by understanding that energy that is within you, that is the true you beyond the physical being. And so you will hear people, that do energy work talking about doing all these different things where they can heal themselves, heal other people. I believe even the government was doing some experiments on remote viewing where they were using people trying to find out information across the world, and they would be sitting here in the United States, and they would be able to view and describe things way across the world, across the United States. And there are other things that you can do with your energy. Everyone is capable of accessing this energy and using it for all sorts of things. I mean, can you imagine if everyone was able to heal themselves just by accessing the energy that the Creator has bestowed upon them, that energy, that healing energy, and even things communicating with every single thing around you, all the plants and the animals and things like that. They've done studies too where they put people in a room and had them concentrate all their energy on a leaf. And the leaf, when they measured the energy from the leaf, they could see it glowing. So understand that being made in the image of the Creator is a wonderful, spectacular thing, and that there are all sorts of attributes that you have that you can access during those times of meditation, the times of quiet, during the cosmic clinic times that I mentioned, as well as when you do Agnihotra. So, but you know, you have to do it on a regular basis, and you have to sit still. And we've been talking often the last several shows, I think probably every show, about people are not used to sitting still, which is what has to happen during these times of the pandemic. You know, people are at home with their children, their families, and they're having the opportunity to sit still. And this is the time in which you can have all sorts of great communication with the Creator. So, as energy beings, there's nothing that you can't do. If people understood who they really were, then I think it would alleviate a lot of the depression and uncertainty that some people are feeling during these times. You are a magnificent, divine, sacred creature that walks hand in hand with the Creator. And all sorts of things can be activated if you just simply sit still. So like I said before, get a piece of paper and a pen when you go through these times, because if you're not used to sitting still and meditating, there are a lot of things that will come through, things that you didn't even think that you would understand. And a lot of these things cannot be found in a book. You find that you will read less when you meditate, you sit still a lot. There's no need to read a lot of books because you are the book. The Creator will give you all sorts of answers to things that you wondered about and tell you things that are needed. So your instincts will become more enhanced. But you have to sit still. Okay? So especially here in America, we're not used to sitting still. We're so busy doing so many things, and really the time that you're able to sit still, that's when you get the most profound wisdom. Like I said, it doesn't come in a book. So I wanted to just talk about that. So remember, like I said, the cosmic clinic hours, the times in which you can sit and meditate, because these are when you're getting direct communication from the cosmos during these times. And then also you get a boost to your immune system, and we've mentioned that before. So 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock a.m., 5 a.m., sunrise, 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., and then sunset. So we do fires at those times, other Homa fires. Agnihotra, by the way, is the basic Homa fire. So when you're doing Agnihotra on a regular basis, then doing the other homifiers at the other times that I mentioned, it just simply boosts the power of Agnihotra. And like I said, it purifies the air, the water, and it's great for the soil. We use it for gardening at the farms here at Shanti, Atlanta. Well, I have a garden, and at the farm at Shantivilla Institute in Tuskegee. So we use this, and it's excellent for remediating soil. So if you have a place that's polluted, this is an excellent way to naturally restore soil. You can take tap water and put it in a glass gallon jug with some ash and put it out in the sun for 3 days, and it cleanses the water. So there's no need for you to buy bottled water. And so the effect of Agnihotra, when you perform this in the morning and the evening, it goes 8 miles up in a 2-mile radius. So this is something that can be used in at-risk, low-income communities to restore the air and things like that, because usually in those communities they dump more pollution, and of course in those areas usually there's more crime. So it's a way to help deal with the mindset of people that are doing crimes and other things that are not good for the community without having to lock them up in a jail. So this is a way to restore the mind, restore the spirit, so that anyone can remember who they really are. And there's always hope for anyone to change and transform themselves. Agnihotra is that way that you can revitalize yourself, because you're revitalizing the planet. And remember, we're not separate from the planet. The planet is part of us. Everything in the universe and on the planet is inside of us. So if the planet is ailing, then so too we are ailing with physical things that are happening. That's just the way it is. So I was telling someone the other day, it's not a coincidence that with all the floods and hurricanes and things that we're having, the pandemic that's happening, that people are in chaos with depression and suicide, and there's a lot of chaos going on with people, not just from rioting and things like that, but if the world is having these planetary problems with pollution and the 5G and all this stuff, then how in the world can we be walking around healthy? Those two things, the earth and people, they're linked. Oh gosh, we're linked. So when we help the planet, we help ourselves. When we help ourselves, we help the planet. And so understand that we are a planet with billions of people. And so it has to always be about the people when we're going out in our daily lives doing things. It's always about the people. And Sri Charles and I were talking about how it's always about the people. And so we look at these headlines and people having political differences, religious differences, and all of that. These things do not matter. These are man-made things that we put up there to divide us. So to me, when people ask questions, we never discuss politics or things of sex or marriage advice or anything like that, because we just don't want to step on people's toes. But what we do say is that if you're not doing something, whether it be a company or organization or individual, if it's not about bettering the person, uniting people, helping people, then it's the wrong thing to do. So to me, when people are arguing about these mundane things with politics and this person did this and this company is that, this is a simple way to really guide you in how to lead your life. If the company you work for, the company you're talking about, the politician, whoever it is, whatever it is, if it's not about unity, peace, and helping the people, then it's not really doing anything. Because the earth, if you think about how nature works in harmony. for the benefit of everything in this ecosystem. That's how it works. So there's a balance. And the same thing goes with humans, that we live on the earth and we're caretakers of the earth. And when that balance is gone, then that's when things go awry. So the balance in terms of nature and what the Creator has established for us, which we've gone away from, is to be about the people. When you can look your neighbor or stranger, because nobody's a stranger, we all are brothers and sisters, in the eye, and you can see what's really inside them, who they are. You can see them and not just think of them as a number or an enemy. Even those that may be doing things that might not be productive at that time, you really have to see who that person is as a human, okay? And help them to rise up to be better than what they are if they're doing things that are not productive or doing things that are destructive. You have to look beyond that, because we're beyond this physical being. And though our behavior may not be good all the time, there's goodness there. It just has to be unleashed. It has to be fortified, and we're to always to uplift our brothers and sisters. So, and it reminds me, I was in the grocery store several days ago, and there was an elderly lady in a motorized scooter, and she's yelling, I mean, just yelling and causing a scene at the customer service desk. And I guess she was due some money, and that's what she kept yelling. I'm not leaving until I get my money. I don't know what's happening. But she caused a big scene. They had to call the cops. And so everyone's looking disgusted as, you know, people are walking by, and the people that work there and the people that were shopping. And I'm at this self-service kiosk. And what I said, because one of the workers was just shaking her head, and I walked up to her and I said, hey, we don't know what's going on with her. I said, maybe she needs the money. Maybe she has no money. And she, you know, she's looked like she was shopping by herself. I didn't see anyone with her. And I said, maybe she's in pain. I said, everyone's stressed out nowadays, so we don't know what it's like in her household. So let's try to remember that. And I remember she stopped, you know, what she was saying to just those around her, and she looked at me. And I said, yeah, I said, because there's no reason for anyone to act that way, but she's obviously stressed. And so I remember I walked by her, because I had to walk by her to walk out the door. And I so bad just wanted to walk up to her and say, well, hi, you know, what's going on? Can I help you with something? Because no one's really thinking to react that way when people are acting ways in which they should not. But we have to take an active role in doing just that, because I'm quite certain if someone just kneeled down to her and spoke to her in a kind way and asked her, was everything okay with her, maybe that would have come out. And it wasn't, you know, I really so bad wanted to walk up to her and let her know that she was loved. And but I, you know, it was, the cop was there and all of that, but I walked out. But I thought about that, and I said, well, Lord, you know, please help her in any way. But we have to see beyond what people are doing. That's really the message that I'm feeling to give everyone. We have to see beyond that and not argue over petty things, and not argue about your point of view doesn't agree with my point of view. You know, nature doesn't have a point of view. The universe does not have a point of view. The universe is simply encompassing. Universe is within us, and the law of the universe has to be adhered to, okay? So it has to be about unity. So let me pause for a second and see if anyone had any questions. Because we'll end here in about 10 minutes, I think. But and just also to know, people will have questions about Agnihotra, and anyone's welcome to come by. I do see people here in a socially distanced way here at in Conyers here at Shanti, Atlanta. But Agnihotra is not about hold on a second. Agnihotra is not about religion, okay? No politics like that. This is about becoming the best person that you can be. Even if you don't have a faith, being the best person that you can be. And Agnihotra can apply to anyone. Anyone can do it to better yourself, your household, your community, to help with pollution, and to help with yourself deal with stress. So I do want to talk about the stress that we're all going through. This is a way to cope when you do Agnihotra. You find that you have a less stressed household by doing Agnihotra. So Agnihotra is about unleashing who you really are and getting away from all these things that take us away from being our holy sacred selves. So this is dealing away with, you know, behavior of greed or lust, being attached to things, not being compassionate, okay? All these things everyone deals with, and Agnihotra is a way to cleanse yourself from all of that. So think about that. For all of us that do Agnihotra, we know the benefits of the environment. I mean, the animals love it, the birds love it, the soil loves it. We grow our food, and they call it Homer farming, when we grow food in a Homer atmosphere. So just think about all that purification that is happening to the trees and the plants and the animals, and think about, because you're doing Agnihotra every day, you're being purified on the deepest level. So all these things that we can deal with, we have a tool, and it's Agnihotra. So family issues can be dealt with in a very peaceful way. For households that do Agnihotra, they report that children are happy, they have less arguments and things like that. Veterans, they're dealing with PTSD, they do Agnihotra so they can get off of psychotropic drugs. Like I said, communities can benefit from cleaning up the pollution, especially in at-risk communities. And if there's a crime problem, this helps with that, because you're dealing with yourself and you're helping people do it themselves too. Okay? You don't have to go knock someone over the head, tell them to act a certain way. Doing Agnihotra will just change that person on the very, very basic level. Okay? And so this is a tool that anyone can use, no matter what your faith, path in life. It's a way to bring about happiness. Okay? And, you know, we're supposed to be blissful. Even in this time of the pandemic, there's no reason for us to be unhappy. Things will pass. This too will pass. So the last thing I want to talk about, and if you're viewing this later, if this is a replay, feel free to send me any questions. You can PM, private message me. You can email me. What's the email? Shanti Atlanta Center at gmail.com, and that's CHANTI, Shanti Atlanta Center at Gmail. And you can also call me at 404-487-8156 if you have any questions, if you're watching this as a replay. And another thing I want to talk about is I've touched on everything. I have to take notes now so that way I can make sure, especially when it's important things I'm talking about. And I was talking about also with someone else about, and we were discussing expectations. And, you know, really, when you expect something that doesn't happen, there's a lot of stress that happens because we expect a certain outcome just for something. Like you expect to get a good grade for this class, or you expected to get a pay raise at your job, or you expected your child to do to be a certain point in their lives and they're not that way, or you expect something from your spouse. And really, expectations can cause a lot of stress, because when you expect something and it doesn't happen, then what happens? You can either become disappointed. Some people become angry. Some people become depressed because, you know, oh, I didn't get this job contract. I didn't make this amount of money. So these expectations cause a lot of stress. And so we say, if you have no expectations, none whatsoever, no expectations at all, then there's no way for you to become stressed from that, because those expectations, when they are not met, they create tension on the mind. Okay. And you don't want to be arguing and putting forth this bad energy just because something that you think should be a certain way did not happen. And this is especially true when we put expectation on our loved ones. Well, you didn't do this, and you should have been able to make this amount of money. You should have been able to make this grade, or you should have been able to do this. Now, even if someone's doing something destructive, you help guide them to doing what is right, but expectations just place a heavy burden upon you, and it creates a lot of stress. So we say, when you get into that way, you get into a mode of negativity, and you don't want to be causing that type of grief around your home, your people that live at home with you, as well as people that are co-workers. It's just not a way to be. So people say, well, you expect something from your wife, you expect something from your children. Well, really, what you do is you expect for anybody, any and everyone, to be happy. That really is what you want someone to want. Someone to be happy and peaceful. That's really all you want. You want them to be happy and peaceful and learn the lessons that the Creator wants them to learn. And you just step out of the way, because a lot of times these expectations have to do with our egos, you know, making ourselves feel a certain way, you know. And no, everyone has their path. Everyone has to go on the path the way they have to, whether it's the path you think is right. But we need to let go of expectations so people can be who they really are. And you go on about your business, even if this is your daughter, your son, or your husband. You do what you're supposed to do by being the divine, sacred being that you are, and giving that person the space to be who they are, and just guiding them if they've gone off their path. But letting go of the expectations is one of the best ways to ease your stress. So we've talked about some of the common causes of stress before. Of course, pollution causes a lot of stress on the mind and the body, and Agnihotra deals with that. There's the pressures of, like we said, expectations and just modern life. And we have deep breathing exercises. And if you come to Shanti, Atlanta, and I probably can do some virtual workshops on this too. That's what to ease tension off the mind and the body too. Okay, because the hustle and bustle of life, that creates a lot of tension. There's the stress of having bad posture and things like that. Yoga helps with that. It also helps with any kind of physical ailments. And then, of course, when I talked about dealing with being greedy, having attachments, not being compassionate, being envious, all these things, those are bad habits that create lots and lots of stress. And so that's where the discipline of purifying your thoughts, your words, and having purified actions comes into play. And Agnihotra will help with all that too. So before I end, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the items that we have available at shantivillainstitute.com, and things that can aid you in living a better life. So And I've just demonstrated several mudras. So this is The Secret Science of Mudras by Sri Charles. And so I say this is part of your first aid kit, because there are mudras in here for asthma and heart attacks and all sorts of things. This is an excellent book. And I think if you don't know what mudras are movements you do with your hands, and you can do them by themselves, or you can do it while you're doing deep breathing. But if you look at the five, your 5 fingers on your hand, they represent the 5 elements. Earth, wind, fire, ether, all the 5 elements. And so, of course, in fire, how could I miss that one? And so when you're doing the mudra, you're activating those elements that are within your body, because all the 5 elements are inside our bodies. And so this is a way for you to heal yourself. So you have more than 4,000 nerve endings that come from your hands to all of your body. And think of your body sort of like a railroad system. And so when you're doing the mudras, you're accessing different points along the tracks inside your body, along the railroad, and you're able to affect the healing effect. And so this is what the mudras are all about. And I'll demonstrate some other mudras too as well, but you can order this off of shantivillainstitute.com. And of course, let's talk about the Agnihotra kit. So for those that want to get started with Agnihotra, this is the Agnihotra kit that we sell at shantivillainstitute.com. Okay, it comes with everything that you need to get started. It comes with 2 or 3 pieces of dried cow dung, and the cow dung comes from our cows at Shanti Villa Institute. Here's a book so you can immediately learn and teach people in your neighborhood about Agnihotra. Comes with a copper cup, copper spoon, copper tray to hold your rice. Here's the stand. And here's the copper pyramid. So you can see what it looks like on the inside. And then we also have copper tongs. Though I've been accused of not using the tongs, I stick my hand in and adjust everything. Everyone looks at me like, oh, you put your hand in there when I'm building the fire. And then we have 2 or 3 of these glass jars. So you can have a jar for your rice, a jar for your ghee, and then have a jar to store your ash. Okay, so, and then for people that are our home gardeners, as well as farmers, we have the Shanti's Ayurvedic Golden Nectar. And this is Sri Charles's formulation, highly concentrated. This is a quart and it makes 3 gallons. So if you are a farmer, or if you're looking to start, even if it's a small farm, we can send you a drum. And we don't really sell to the public. We have started selling individual quarts, but we normally sell it by the case. If you have a business and you would like to order a case, contact me. I'll be like your sales rep. So we can get that started. So let me see if anyone else has any questions before I end. And as always, I appreciate you joining me on the Agnihotra Ladies, the Cosmic Clinic. I'm usually here Saturday at 7 p.m. and I'll go anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what's going on for the day. And so let me see here for a second. Anyone has come in here before I sign off? And so anyway, I want you to have a very blessed day, evening, and have a great weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do some work in the garden. it's a little chilly, but I still have collards and turnips and kale growing, and I got to figure out what I'm gonna plant for winter harvest. So anyway, as always, be blessed, and if you need to contact me, you can go to Shanti Atlanta Facebook page. You can go to healthpluslifestyle.com, or you can call me at 404-487-8156, or you can email me at shantiatlantacenter@gmail.com. Have a blessed and wonderful evening.